had another question.
Yes, could you talk about playing with Paul Shaffer?
Playing with him?
Yes,
Am I playing with him?
yes,
Since the beginning?
yes.
Oh, it's great. It's great. Yeah. He's a great student, yeah. And, you know, we did connect, as he said, in Yorkville and in Toronto. And it's been a pleasure, you know, playing with Paul, for real. You know, it's been a pleasure. It was a learning process. Yeah, there's a 2-year apprenticeship and learning process, and he's probably still learning. But, yeah, no, it's a joy playing with Paul. The connection was immediate, it's instantaneous, so it's never been without that. You know, his enthusiasm, his willingness to learn, his willingness to play and offer himself in service to the music, definitely. It's always been that way.
And how did Pharoah Sanders and Ravi Coltrane and Rashid Ali feel about playing with Paul Shaffer?
Well, I don't know about, I don't say Robbie. I think Robbie, you know, probably open. Yeah, he came. And, I think they all like Paul as an entertainer. But, you know, speaking about them in terms of like Paul, you know, and his persona on the Letterman show, when I mentioned, you know, Paul Shaffer to Rashid when we did Presence of Mastery, he said, you know, he said, no, no, Paul. He says, we're going to be playing out stuff, man. I says, yeah, so? So? You know, he felt awkward at first. It's like, this is, no. This is, in other words, he felt the difference in what we're doing and what Paul shows up is doing. So I told him, no, Paul can handle it. Paul's one of my own, in a sense, right? He got schooling here, he got training here. He's a veteran. And so it was like, it had to be proven. And then when we started playing, he thought it was great. You know, it was fun to play with, he was open. And Paul went anywhere the music went. And so it was demonstrated to me that he's a very cool guy, man. I mean, this is not something he thought he would experience with Paul. And so I was very pleased to introduce that to Rashid. And he enjoyed playing with Paul. Yeah.
And how about Pharoah?
Pharoah, we didn't talk about it. I just got the sense that Pharoah would adapt to whatever it was, but there may have been some apprehension in Pharoah, but it wasn't visible, it wasn't spoken, because understanding, you know. Pharoah's Mr. T, but he can play with anybody if he chooses to. So he wasn't sure what was going to be happening, but I think he got used to it, and he was fine with it, man. He loves Paul. He loves Paul. And they all love Paul as you know, I guess you might say, the Letterman show, musical director. There was no doubt about that. Yeah. Fun cat. But, you know, avant-garde chops, that's another thing. Right. So when we got to the final threshold of the music, and the guys were okay because Paul didn't hesitate. He didn't hold anything back. He was enthusiastic, and that's exactly how they like it. Right? It's not about your chops, man. It's about your heart, your soul, and your openness to go with the music, where it goes, and then whatever it brings out of you. It's just more important than just playing chops. Right? There you have it.
Wonderful.
Okay. Thank you for the question.